Good evening. Welcome to Expat Insights. I'm your host Raju Mandhyan. Here at Expat Insights, we take external views of internal successes by foreigners, expats, and immigrants who have made Philippines their home and are doing good in the Philippines, either in business or society. Tonight, being the first day of summer, the first weekend of summer, I have a gentleman here from Belgium, and he's made Philippines his home for the last 2 years, and he's been doing good in the provinces in Davao, Iloilo, and other smaller cities. He's teaching people how to become self-employed, how to become entrepreneurs, and how to own their own businesses for free and sometimes a little cost. And so he's here, our guest today, a former banker, a teacher, and now a trainer of entrepreneurship, Mr. Vlummen, with a V-L-U-M-M-E-N-S. So welcome to Expat Insights.
Thank you for the invitation.
So tell us a bit about yourself. Raf, may I call you Raf?
Of course.
Yeah.
I'm Belgian, I'm 56 years old, and I'm living here since the last 2 years now. And I have a career, an international career in banking. I work in Belgium, France, Congo, and at the side I was teaching.
All the time?
No, the last 15 years I was teaching in Brussels entrepreneurship at Sintra School of Entrepreneurship, and here in the Philippines we are doing the same thing, because we started up a school of entrepreneurship in Davao, where we partnered with the Philippine College of Technology, and where we train people to be entrepreneurs.
Ladies and gentlemen, in the next 30 minutes, Raf is going to tell us on how to come up with an idea for a business and how to start it and make it succeed in the next 30 minutes. But before we start talking about how to start, run, and grow your own negocios, we're going to ask Raf, what's fun about being in the Philippines, Raf?
It's like the official campaign. It's fun. It's more fun in the Philippines.
What do you like about this?
What I like about this country, aside from my wife, is the way of living.
From your wife?
Aside from my wife.
You like your wife here and you like everything else over there?
All complete.
Okay.
It's the way of living. It's also the climate, because I'm coming from Europe. It's cold, it's winter, it's freezing, it's snowing. It's more relaxed here to live.
It's happy. Huh?
And then the abundance of natural products, fruits, vegetables,
yep,
and the nice food. It's a tropical paradise.
Fantastic. And you've been here 2 years now. Yep. 2 years. So, any connections still? Any business?
Sometimes I go to Belgium, but my wife says always I go to. Last time I was in Europe, I stayed only 1 night in Brussels, and I came back. So.
All right. Now, talk to us about how an individual or a group of people should start up a business. What should they do? Where do they start? What's square one? What's block?
Block one is to have, first of all, to have the mindset of being an entrepreneur.
Have a mindset.
Mindset of being an entrepreneur and say, okay, I want to do this. I want to create something. I want to follow my passion. Because you can't start up a business without a passion for the product or the service. It's impossible. Otherwise, you are selling something. A lot of people forget that for having an idea and to develop ideas, we have to look for the system and not for the product.
System and not for the product.
Everybody makes better hamburgers than McDonald's or Jollibee.
Okay.
But they have the better system, because McDonald's is all over the world.
All right.
And they are serving you the same burgers all over the world. So there's a system. So when people start do something, it can be in services, it can be in manufacturing, you have to look for the system. So can my system be duplicated, yes or no?
No. So you said first passion.
Passion.
So passion first. That means I must want to do and then create a system for, or should I discover the product or idea before I create the system?
Of course, you have to discover the system, the idea before.
Yeah.
To have to develop the idea. It's not seeing. It can be seeing something on the street. You can copy, but you can adopt, but you have to adapt. And that's sometimes not only in the Philippines, but also in Africa. I saw it, and also in Europe. And people see something, they say, okay, I will do this. No, try to be original.
Talk to me a bit more about passion. How do you, as a teacher, a trainer, help, say, Juan de la Cruz discover his passion or identify his passion? That what do you want to do? And people want to do business all the time, but what is it that you want? How do you help them?
When I people they want to do something, there are a lot of people who come to me and say, okay, do you have something for me? No.
Ah, they expect ideas from you.
No. I have a lot of ideas, but
Right.
perhaps for me, but not for them.
Right.
The idea is coming about their interest, about their studies, their experience. They see something, even on holiday, they see something. This is my thing.
So look, it's very scatterbrained. It's chaotic about what they want to do.
You learn about an entrepreneurial idea. You can't learn it. You have to feel it, to say, okay, I want to do this.
So it must come from the gut.
Yes, and this is my passion, and I want to realize this.
So there is no special method on how someone should discover their passion, but you ask them questions and it's really up to them.
And then you can see that there are people who have degrees in law who start a restaurant.
Yeah.
Okay, why not? There's no problem with it. You have to do it.
As long
as you do it. But having a degree in law and say, okay, I want to do business and I open a restaurant and you know nothing about restaurants, don't do it.
So what should now somebody, I say, okay, I'm passionate about being an orthodontist, which happens to be our next guest. We have a guest coming up who's an orthodontist. So I'm really passionate about fixing people's teeth, for example. That's my passion. So where do I go from that? What's my step two?
I think the first step to do is to learn how to fix the teeth of the people.
No, okay. Skill yourself up. Okay.
Skill yourself, but that's important.
No, yeah.
You want to do something with teeth, or you want to have a restaurant?
Learn
what it is to have a restaurant or to be an orthodontist.
So skill yourself up. That means learn the trade.
Learn
the ups and downs of it.
And what's important when you skill up is to learn what the people expect from you.
Not what you just like to do, but the market wants
from you.
Right,
what the problem of the people are. And you have to sell something to resolve their problems.
So you fill a gap, fill a need.
You have to fill the need.
So your passion in combination with what is needed by the market. Okay. So Raf, you have some pictures here, some images here. This one says market research. We already taken a picture of this.
I think it's very important that the who has developed his idea will test it out on the market and say, okay, my market is okay, I can sell it. People are ready to pay for it.
Right.
Because that's the business. People have to be ready to pay for it.
Right.
There are two different things to start with. Is the internal analysis of your product.
Yeah.
You say, okay, what can I do? Where I'm better? What I do better as my competitors? And then, second part is the external analysis. Market do the people have the money to buy? And that's so. It's the environmental issues, legal issues, all that thing. You bring this together, develop your SWOT analysis. And out of your SWOT analysis, you can start to make your strategic plan to say, okay, now I'm in business.
Okay, you're going ahead for me. Let me just capture that idea. So find out what you're good at, what you're really passionate about, find out what the market needs, and create a product or a service for that. Then the plan. By the way, ladies and gentlemen, perhaps his ideas and principles come from his upcoming book called Being an Entrepreneur, and it's soon to be released in Davao, etc. So post I've done that, and I'll create a system or a plan. What is my step 3?
At that moment, the next step, when you have done your market research, you have to study who is your client. Because you can't sell to everybody.
Right.
Who is your client? If you have a product for women, you have to study what type of women. Are they young? Are they old? Are they self-employed? Do they have children? Yes or no?
Yeah.
What are the other products they buy? What car they drive? Sort of things. Where are the kids going to school? At that moment, you can have a snapshot of your client.
Yeah.
And you can see where the
so customer profiling, like this picture from your book, no,
like
customer
that
profiling.
Picture.
May I ask you, in your people, there are on entrepreneurship, the thousands in national bookstores and everywhere, and there are people who are saying that I can consult you on entrepreneurship, I can consult you on business. How your RAF method or your technology different? How do you make people succeed? What process do you follow?
What we do is, in fact, very simple. We train them during 3 days.
Yeah,
during a
3
work-
days?
3
3 days, yeah.
during a workshop.
Mhm.
And during that workshop, they have to develop, we learn them to develop, it's very hands-on. They have to work.
Mm.
They don't have to come only for the food.
Yeah.
No, they have to work.
Yeah.
And they have to develop their ideas, and when they go out after 3 days, 60% of their business plan is done.
It's completed.
Completed. What I can say to people who want to start, don't, sorry for the accountants, but don't go to accountants because they make only the financials. The
Right,
financials you have to make at the end.
Right, right.
The financials in a business plan, financial plan, is the translation of all the ideas, the marketing, the strategy
Yeah.
developed
Yeah.
into numbers.
So in 3 days, they go away with a complete blueprint.
60%.
60% of them. So if you have 50 people in the room, 30 of them walk away with a business name, a logo, the complete
with the concept.
With the whole concept, and they can just go and register
with
and
the concept,
start,
and then, then they have to develop their market research because they have to test their ideas.
They have to do a
test their
test run.
ideas. And what we do after that, when they are doing that, I don't write business plans for them.
You don't write the business plans for them?
But I can coach them.
So who does does anybody edit the business plan? So if you have 30 or 50 people in the room, do you personally go through each plan, or
we talk to them? We do it with we let them work in little groups, because I think that peer evaluation is the best technique to do this.
Amongst themselves,
it's their first market survey. It's the peer review of their plans.
So strategy, market plan, anything else after that? Is there something else that they must concretize before they talk about the money part?
I think when they have their marketing plan, their strategy, they did all their market survey. Okay, at that moment they have to make their financials to see how much money we need. And then they have to see what funding we have. It can be their own money, it can be money from their family, it can be from the bank. But people have to think also that there are, in Europe, many investment funds who are ready
to support.
All they ask is, give us a decent business plan.
All my life, I must confess, I'm a little experienced in business, hopefully, and I've been around in the world for a long time now. Every time I meet somebody young and inexperienced, they say, where do I get money from? I don't have capital. So you're saying in Europe there are funders. How about in a country like Philippines where money is scarce, or scarce to come by, and it's expensive? The cost of money is really high.
At that moment, people have a decent plan. Okay, we can review the plan and we can submit it in Europe. Because those people are also giving the money, giving loans, giving even capital.
You gotta hear this.
Okay. And there are even funds are doing in the US, in Europe, but there are even a few of them who are funding in pesos.
Wow, that is
And that's
brilliant.
the most interesting part, because at that moment, the local entrepreneur here
becomes a joint venture.
Yeah, and can pay back in pesos, and not in US. So the exchange rate doesn't count anymore.
Well, there's a chance that they could either gain or lose in the transaction. My next guest, Raf, is orthodontist. She's Iranian, Filipina, and she's been in this country for a while. She's already succeeded in starting a business, and she'll be happy to hear this and ask you questions about how she should fund her business more if she wants to expand it. No? So in your workshop, people who are watching this show, they can approach you and get tips on how to get their business financed.
Get their business financed, to review their business plans and to see what if there is a yes or a no. Before I was a banker for 30 years. By profession, I'm a certified risk analyst. So I can read plans like a banker.
You can read it with your eyes closed.
Yeah, I can say, okay, forget it. And that's important because people are so focused on their product.
Yeah, they're so focused on the
idea. On the idea, but they forget the market.
Right, they forget the technology.
And a finance, somebody who's funding the business says, okay, idea is okay, but what is the market saying?
Yeah.
Because the money to to do the repayments has to come from the market.
I'm going to ask you a question about to share success stories. I'm sure in the last 2 years that you have been in the Philippines, you may have worked with 1,000 or more people. I'm not sure how many, but I'd like you to think up of a success story of somebody you helped create a plan and how they're doing today. But before I ask you that, I want you to tell this to my audience, saying that the idea itself to the business is not just a thing. There's more to it. So would you, like you told me before the show, that idea is not a thing. There's so much more beyond it. So you can take 30 seconds and just scold the people who are starting business and just thinking, meron ako idea.
Okay, the first thing to do is develop your idea.
Yeah.
To validate your idea on the market through market research. When you say, okay, my market research, there is a market for it. Then it's time to develop a strategy. How to enter the market. From your strategy, you make your marketing plan. And after that, you translate all this in numbers. And you compute how much money you need. How much money you need and how you can earn some money to repay your funding.
All right, so let me explain this. So what you're saying is passion, idea, market need, and after that, it's all numbers. It's all scientific. It's step-by-step goal setting and watching your goals accomplished. So it's really a process. Here it's passion, and then it's a process. Fantastic. Can you share a success story?
Okay, you can compare it the most with fashion designers.
All right, example.
With fashion designers, they are passionate to do fashion.
They're passionate about fashion. Yeah. That sounds good.
And then they started. They have their clients. They have their market. They know what the clients want.
Right.
And so they start up their business.
They jump into it.
They jump in, and that's in fact is the best thing. First, they know what they are doing. They are focused on it.
Right.
And when you compare that to the lawyer or the accountant who says, okay, I read in a newspaper about buying a food cart with Shao Mai,
They
and
get their ideas.
I want to do it.
Yeah.
He doesn't see the product. He doesn't see the system. He doesn't have the passion. The only thing he sees is the cash. And that's never the good business.
So passion and idea rather than just chase the money. Just chase the money. So in your lifespan in the Philippines, any success stories? Anybody started undogs or something?
No, we don't have undogs, but there is for instance, I can tell a story about it's a Dutch guy. He's from the Netherlands.
Davao?
No, he's in Baguio.
Yeah.
And he came in, and he brought with him a product unknown in the Philippines: trampolines. Trampolines, you know, round things, you can jump on it and you go high. Trampolines.
Yeah, nobody knew that?
Nobody knew that. That was also his conclusion.
You, Noli.
Nobody knew that.
Yeah.
He tried to sell those trampolines.
Right.
Nobody bought the trampolines.
Oh my God, then?
What is he does? He put the trampolines in the malls.
Yeah.
And let the children pay 40 or 50 pesos to jump on it.
Right.
And he's earning his money with that.
But trampoline's a 40-year-old idea. It's a 50-year-old idea. It's like the hula hoop.
Yeah, but what he did is, you bring the product, trampoline is a product, he transformed the product in a system. And he's earning money, he's franchising now.
So where did his passion come in?
The passion was to do business.
The passion was to...
He did business before. Perhaps there are people who can be very passionate about trampolines, but...
Yeah, maybe he was passionate about entertainment and fun.
That things. But that's one of the best examples I saw in my life of how transforming a product in a system.
To become a service, Now, Sir Raf, you also have something in your book which I pulled out, no? Promotion through PLC. That's promotion through product life cycle. Would you like to explain this? We already have an image of this one. Would you like to explain this?
In fact, every product has a life cycle. It's introduced in the market, it has some growth, it comes to maturity, it declines. We gave the perfect example about the hula hoop.
The hula hoop, in the 60s,
In the 60s, it came up, it was new, it grew, it came to maturity, and it died. It was dead. So everybody, when you start a concept, you have to think already about what will I do in 5 years or in 2 years.
When the rage or the trend or the need for it.
When you are growing, you're in the middle of your growth, you have to start up something new, because when the growth comes to maturity and decline, you have something new to give your cash. The same cycle is in promotion. You have to use other promotional techniques when you introduce on the market, when you are in growth, the maturity, because then people know you, and when it comes to decline, you say, okay, it's reminder, and that is the way to introduce your new things.
Let me bring this to a non-tangible product or a service, for example, or orthodontists, for example. How does somebody who provides dental work come up with new products and promotions? What would your ideas be on that?
I think it's...
I'm just talking about orthodontics because my next guest is...
I think it's obvious here in the Philippines.
Obvious?
It's obvious because I think, I wasn't here, but I think 10, 15 years ago, the way the orthodontists worked on the market was totally different as now. Now they are in the malls, they are very flashy, there are no self-employed specialists anymore. They have a business system.
So it's a commercial thing.
It's a commercial thing.
It's like a restaurant. You walk in for a cup of coffee and you walk in for a cup of teeth.
Yeah, you come up with okay, but it's becoming a system.
Right. I never realized that. Yeah.
Yeah, there is, for instance, you can compare it with people who are walking in, like before a bookshop, you went to a bookshop to buy books.
Right, right.
Now you can buy everything.
Right.
When I was young, 25 years ago, 20 years ago, you went with your car to a gas station to fill up.
Right, that's all you did.
That's all. Now you can go to buy bread. You can do shopping there.
You can get a massage.
Yeah, you can do everything. So the concept is because people have other needs.
What do you call that? What do you call that whole philosophy of discipline of multiplying two services or putting together to synergizing two services? What is the trend?
Convenience.
Make it more convenient.
Yeah, more convenient.
So it's more about customer needs rather than so cross-selling, upselling, etc. as part of that.
The time people can come to your shop. Why McDonald's here in the Philippines or so are open 24 hours on every 7 days? It doesn't exist in Europe.
Yeah, yeah.
So, but people need it here. Why
Right.
Why everybody is going to McDonald's? Students.
In the last couple of years in Philippines, and Philippines has a special culture, like not like European, not like American, no? Are there any trends or ideas that you see forthcoming in the coming months or years for the Philippines that, hey, here are opportunities in this sector? Is this something that you
I think when you study the demographic evolution of the Philippines, I think there is a huge challenge in developing services and products for young people. That's one, because the segment of the young people is really very big in the Philippines.
Yeah.
On the other hand, there's another very interesting market.
Yeah.
It's the foreigners are living here. For instance, in Davao, now they are constructing a Japanese retreat heaven for Japanese people who are older, senior Japanese citizens who are coming to live
old people's home, Japanese old people's home.
What you see now, smart nurses are learning Japanese.
Oh, right.
To communicate with those people.
What are they called? They call they're not called recreation villages.
Yeah.
They call villages.
So what you see, there are a lot of foreigners like me here. Okay, you can develop services for them.
So thus product and service niche, and then you based on identifying your customer. So your customer now is two kinds. It's the baby boomer from abroad,
who's
like you and me, and the babies that are being born here.
And the babies being born here.
Right, so younger market and an older market. So in between market of the native is kind of disappearing.
One example for the foreign baby boomers, for instance. Okay, why not when you are a nurse developing a service at home? You take your little car or your bike and you go.
Deliver the service.
Deliver the service
like the massage people.
Yeah, instead of going to the hospital.
Yeah. All right, so Raf, we'll be coming to a break in a minute, and I'm going to call my next guest. who is a successful self-employed orthodontist. I didn't ask you that question about what is the difference between self-employed and entrepreneur, but I'm going to call her in a few minutes. But is there anything that you want to add to the discussion we've had so far, or would you like to differentiate for me before this break comes in, the difference between what is being self-employed and what is an entrepreneur? What is the core difference?
I think the big difference is the mindset. The mindset. Entrepreneurship is a lifestyle.
All right.
Self-employed, a lot of people are self-employed, but in fact are employees who are sending invoices instead of receiving salary. That's the difference.
Okay. So that means they are not making 2 plus 2 equals 7.
No.
They are just doing 2 plus 2 on their own, and instead of being paid by somebody else. They just collecting.
And they don't think. They are just doing their thing.
So they're not thinking long term. They're not thinking product cycle, marketing. No. They're not creating systems yet. No. Fantastic. That's going to be our next conversation, because the person who's coming up is self-employed and not an entrepreneur. Hope she becomes an entrepreneur. So ladies and gentlemen, stay watching, and this is Expat Insights. I'm your host, Raju Mandhyan. Our next guest, Iranian Filipina, 23, 29 years old, I really have no idea. And she owns a company called Fashion Orthodontist Spa, and she's going to be joining us and asking questions of Mr. Vlummens. Stay with us, and thank you for watching Expat Insights. Welcome back to Expat Insights. I'm your host, Raju Mandhyan, and we are talking about starting, running, growing your own negocios. And we have a second guest right now, and her name is Shide Nikbin, and she's part Iranian and part Filipina, and she runs a business called Fashion Dentist Spa.
Fashion Smile Dental Spa.
Fashion Smile Dental Spa.
Yeah.
That's a mouthful. That's FSDE. Fashion Dental Smile. Fashion Smile Dental Spa.
Yes.
Fashion Smile Dental Spa. So, Shide, welcome to Expat Insights. And this is the first time I've had an Iranian person, half Iranian person on this show, because people from the Middle East are rare to find in this country. Everybody or Australian, and of course Belgian sometimes. So, tell us a bit about yourself quickly.
Well, as you said, I'm half Filipino, half Persian. So I started studying my dentistry here in CEU. And then after I graduate, I went back to Iran. So I get my license. I work in my dad's hospital for a bit, and for 8 months. Then I realized I want something more than that. So I came back to Philippines. I studied my master's in University of Philippines.
Yeah.
And then after that, I tried to start a business here. Me and my partner, Dr. Far Shamsi, we start having a dental clinic. We start renting it. Then now we make it bigger, so we start having this Fashion Smile Dental Spa recently.
So it's a bigger business, but you said you tried to start it, but it's still running. That means you have succeeded.
Yes.
So you didn't try to start it, you started it, and
right
you're
away.
running it.
Yes.
So you need to grow it, no?
Yes, yes.
Okay, before we go any further, because you are more Filipino than Iranian or Persian, tell us what, from your perspective, is more fun in the Philippines. What do you like about the Philippines?
What I love, I truly love Philippines, and it's they're so open and so.
There's a fly in the studio. Yeah.
I know.
Don't worry about it. Okay.
People here are so open. They're so fun. They're more in fashion. They're always happy, no matter what they have. They don't expect too much, and that makes me, and also the beaches and all that thing. So that's the reason that I love to stay here.
And what do you like about Iran? Also, I'm sure you like things about Iran.
Yeah, I love Iran also, because I'm happy.
You can love two things in life.
Yeah,
That's okay,
you can love a lot of things in life, right?
I agree with you.
Yeah. One thing that I love about Iran is my family.
All right. The mountains, the food.
The food, yeah. I love the food, and my family and the food.
Okay. So Raf here is a coach, a consultant on business, and you have succeeded. So whatever he said about having a passion for business, having to skill up yourself in that trade, do you have any examples of your own? Do you resonate with him in those ideas about having a passion for fashion, dentistry?
Yeah. I agree with, I was listening to him and I totally agree with it. Like there are a lot of people, they want to have a business or they want to be a dentist and that. But number one is really, it's supposed to be your passion. If you really love it, that's how it works. Because in midway, if you don't, the passion and love is not there, not really, you cannot go through the challenges and you cannot take risks for a bigger.
And then you skilled yourself up at the FEU?
No, in UP.
UP, but then so you took your master's in dentistry?
No, I took my dentistry in CEU, then my postgraduate in UP.
Yeah. Raf, listen, I actually tried to ask you the same question a while ago. How do you perk up passion? How do you distinguish passion from an obsession or from just copying somebody else? How, in your workshops, is there any special strategy for you to say, I think and I know for sure that you're passionate about this? People talk about passion in a profession or a business, but how do you perk it up? How do you prime it?
I think when people are passionate about something, it's part of their life. It's part of their life. And I said before, you can't learn it. You have it or you don't.
So describe it for yourself. You're now a trainer, a teacher, a consultant. So tell me, how do you feel, how do you define or describe the passion in you?
For me, I like to teach.
Okay.
I like to teach because you said before there are thousands of books about entrepreneurs.
Correct.
In the National Bookstore. But it's always, I try to learn the people hands-on things. To say, okay, think about this. Think about this. Think about that when you start up, like when you start up your dental clinic, instead of, okay, what will we do in 2 years' time? Because there will be a lot of others who doing the same things or are copying me. What will I do? You have to think today about what. Like, for instance, there is, for me in Davao, we don't see it, there is no medical tourism in the Philippines. I think there is a big market for that. People, because the services are very good. For Americans, for Europeans, are not expensive. That's
medical tourism,
Try to do something around that. What you have to do? Okay, you have your skills, or the same skills as for your patients here, but try to find out what's about insurances, social security. How can we marry this? That's one. That's a challenge. Try to learn new things, new techniques to come up. Okay, the close-up smile is fine, but try to do other things.
Improve and innovate on it,
improve. Create the need with the client. You have to create one. You have to create one. He doesn't know. All the soaps for whitening.
All the glutathione.
It's all, everybody wants to buy soaps to have a whiter skin. And everybody knows it won't work.
It's like a Red Sea out there.
It won't work. But the people who are marketing these products, they create a need.
Shide, did you, when you started off Fashion Smiles Dental Spa, did you go through the process? Did you go through it professionally and say, here's my name, here's my brand, here's my vision, here's my mission, these are my values, and here's my business concept? Did you go through the process?
Actually, the first time that me and my partner, we had rented a place, our first step, and for the long run, I was thinking of like what people need or what I need when I go to a dental clinic, what I need. Usually people, they think of a dentist as a pain. When they have pain, they go there. So I wanted to be, that's why I wanted to be in a place that people love to come. Like
Right.
while they're sitting, they can have their
Yeah.
body massage or whole
You
body.
get that in your place?
Yes, yes.
No, okay.
And actually, it's a Persian massage, so
Oh,
Aramesh massage.
really?
Yes.
So you have kebabs?
No, genies.
Genius.
Yeah.
So, but did you write it down? Did you
Yeah.
say, sit down and type it
Yeah,
out and say, this is my book on my...
I didn't write down, but I had a picture of it, so I make a vision of it. Like I want to have a spa, a wellness place for the patient. When patients go there, they are happy, and more of caring for the patient than seeing patient as a money.
Okay, let me ask you a little, I don't know if you're Filipinos as a culture, we don't like to talk about money, but let's talk about money, because this is about money. How much did you invest? How long until you got return on your investment? And did you plan it? Did it go according to plan?
For us, we started 2 years ago, from 2000.
Today, that's 2010.
Yeah, 2010 till end of 2011, we were renting the place. So we save up money, and we, of course, our family also support us a bit, so that we bought a new place and a property, and we had partners for the spa or chef. So that's for our cafe. So it's like a partnership also as well. It's not like you will do everything, but you can, like for me...
It was a joint effort.
Yeah.
But did you have a financial plan? Like, we're putting in 3 million pesos,
Yes.
and this is how much it will cost.
Yeah.
Did you go through that, and did you follow
Yes.
it to the letter? Did you? Or
right.
is that required, Raf? Is that a good idea to do?
Your financial plan, your business plan has to be your guideline.
It has to
And
be.
a lot of people think, okay, we write the plan now and it's forever. It's not true, because you have to review it every 3 months, every 6 months, to adapt on the reality and on the market.
Okay.
And on the market.
Okay.
But what she is telling about the concept about, and I heard we have a cafe and we have a massage, right?
Yeah.
It's fantastic.
Yeah.
It's fantastic.
It's creative.
When I lived in Paris, and one girl has copied it in Brussels, it was a laundry shop combined with a little restaurant.
Oh, I thought a laundry and a wedding chapel. So
No.
you get married and do laundry right away.
No,
That's a good idea.
Because at that moment, people came in, they put their laundry in the machines,
Yeah.
Yes.
and they had their
Massage.
a dinner.
Or dinner, right.
And at the end, they came and they stayed in the cafe.
Yeah.
So
Nice.
there are things, it's thinking out of the box. Try to think out of the box.
So let me go back to that planning, because ideas are one thing, as you mentioned, because I just was speaking to someone. They say ideas are one thing. It's hard work. It's principle, discipline, and you mentioned systems, no? So when you create a business plan, is it like 10 pages, 20 pages, 5 pages? Is there any requisite to it?
You can have fantastic business plans on one page.
Just one page. And then you're saying that it should be flexible. That means it should be adaptive rather than something that you have to, it's like not written on stone. So it should change 3 months, 6 months?
3 months you can adapt and say, okay, this product didn't work, we put another thing. And because when you are in business, you start to feel what the needs of the people are, and what the reaction of the people is on the service you are proposing.
So are there any signs that you must take from the market or the business that you must read and say, it's time for me to probably edit my plan a bit? Are there signs in her case? Should there be signs?
The best sign to edit your plan all over again are your sales figures.
Oh, so really the result, the KPIs are your financials, no?
Yeah.
Shide, so how many years until you got your 3 million back or 10 million back? In the
Right now, it's still we spend.
We're still investing in it.
Yeah. So it's like our business still a baby. It's just that we just finished with the renovation, like the new one, just a month ago. So it's still working, but I know that the ROI will be fast. Yeah,
Hey,
because it's a new stuff.
I have a little peeve about this, because you're saying that people having an idea and a passion is one thing. So people pour in money into their businesses. They pour in their sweat and their blood and their love and passion, and families' love and passion and money. And then at the end of 3 years, it's a nice spa, but the bank is empty. I don't wish that for you. No? What I'm saying is, but there are lots of businesses that fail. So a plan being adaptive and flexible and a passion and idea, where what do I do with structure and systems? Can you give us an idea? Give me something where people who are possible negotiators
Mhm.
should be able to use that idea.
I think people wait too long to
Yeah.
to re-edit their business plan and to see and
Right,
and to
right.
look to their financials.
Right, right.
Here in the Philippines, the financial system
Mm.
is in that way. When you go to the bank with some collateral, you get
Yeah.
your loan.
Mm-hmm.
With a business plan or not, you get your loan.
Yeah. Okay.
I think it's not a good signal.
It's not a good.
No.
It's not a good trend.
Collateral is always at the end. When you are a banker and a risk analyst, you see first the project, because it's the project who has to pay you back,
All
and
right,
not
all
the
right.
collateral. Because
right.
that's also a problem when you see the financial statements of the Filipino banks.
Mm.
There are a lot of foreclosed properties.
Yeah.
That's collateral. That is
Right,
not
right, right,
risk
right.
taking. It's taking collateral.
Right, right.
So-
So the trend. Let me just for this thing, in developed countries like Europe and U.S., they look at the
The
strength of
the
the
viability-
business
the viability
idea,
of the
the
business.
viability of the idea, and then they give you the loan, and the collateral is the last thing
The
they
last
ask. Whereas in here, I don't know if other Asian countries, they look at the collateral first, and even if the business plan and idea is weak, they give you the money. Thus, investors, business people end up losing their shirts or properties, and while banks are sitting on a large inventory of properties. So, what is the exit strategy? What is the game plan out of this? What should one do? What should banks and
I think for me, the first thing the bank has to do is to adopt a rule and say, okay, we don't give credit for the collateral.
Mm-hmm.
We only study credit for the project.
Mm-hmm.
And if the project is okay, we give the credit. And for international bank capital rules, we need some collateral. And then you can take the collateral, but not as a first reason to give the loan.
Given Shide's scenario of a fashion smile dental spa, it's such a big name, I'm getting used to it now, no? What are your recommendations for her as a consultant?
I think-
what should what should she do today?
I think what she has to do today is to develop her system,
Yes.
and really to develop it as a system. To write it down, what has to be done, how do you like it. And when you want to grow, I think you have to look for orthodontists like you, with the same passion for service, the same passion for technique, and franchise it.
Yeah.
And you franchise it.
Actually, that was what I wanted to ask. Like, for me to franchise the business, of course, like how people want to buy, right? So it's like, how can I make a business that even me not being there, you know, I mean, what system
Runs on its own.
Yeah.
But what you are doing now is really to develop your system. Okay?
Yeah.
It's like McDonald's, you make your burgers. And you write down how to make them.
Okay.
What type of service you will give. What products you will need. How much a product costs. How your pricing strategy is. At that moment, you can sell that package. And to say to an orthodontist, okay, you can buy. You pay me upfront a few million
Yes.
as franchising fee, and then every month to use your name, because your name sounds sexy. Well, it's important. And then you can ask money every month, and you
Yes.
can be at the beach.
So she becomes a brand by herself.
By
no?
brand by herself.
Yeah.
Yeah. Raf, how would you ask her a couple of questions and know if her business plan, idea is viable, and if it has a potential for growth? As a consultant, what kind of questions
Okay,
would you
the first
ask her?
question, I heard that the two partners are
Yeah.
both dentists.
Yes.
Okay, who is overseeing the financials and the operations?
Both of us together. Actually.
Okay, I think when it's grown bigger, to have somebody, you don't have to hire him, but have somebody who oversees your system,
Yeah.
so that you can develop your technique, and because you have to sell your concept to other orthodontists.
Yes.
So you have to be technically very high standard. And all the rest about the color of the walls,
Yeah.
it's not
Branded
your
and
business.
standardized.
That's for somebody else. That's one. Secondly, you have to follow with dashboards. Nearly every day you need to know
What to do.
What the goal, if the goal is reached, yes or no.
All right, ladies and
thank
gentlemen,
you.
I think we are kind of done with our time. We have 2 minutes to go, no? And you can announce your website, Fashion Smile Dental Spa.
Yes.
And so, Raf, you can announce your training programs and your book, yeah?
So we have, we are running for this
book.
moment in Davao.
Yeah. Here, at the
with
camera,
the
at the camera.
Philippine College of Technology, we have
Yeah.
our own school, BizBoost.
Yeah.
BizBoost School
Yeah.
of Entrepreneurship.
Yeah.
And in a few weeks' time, our manual will be in the bookshops.
Very
and will be
good,
available.
very good. So that's Mr. Raf Vlummen, and he's based in Davao. And Shide,
thank
you want to promote your Fashion Smile Dental Spa?
Yeah, our website is fashionsmiledentalspa.com.
Yeah.
Telephone number 0917-509-2010. And we are just here at Makati Salcedo Village, Heart Tower. Yeah,
really?
you're welcome anytime.
All right, thank you for being on Expat Insights, Raf Vlummen, and hope
Pleasure.
you grow a lot of entrepreneurs and negociantes in this country, and hope this country flourishes because of your efforts. And
Yeah, thank
Fashion
you.
Smile Dental Spa, Ms. Shide Nikbin, you're a great combination of Persia and the Philippines,
Thank you.
and hope your business multiplies and we see you as a logo, as a brand, like Miss Bello, you know, the Bello of the
Yes.
future in as far as dental
Yes.
are concerned. So, thank you very
Thank
much
you
for being
so
on the
much.
show.
Thank you so much.
So that was Raf Vlummen from Belgium and Shide Nikbin from Persia and Philippines. And we were talking about start, run, and grow your business. Next week on Expat Insights, we will be talking about manufacturing excellence. That means large corporations, thousands of people. And our guest is Chandra Anantiram, President and General Manager of Hitachi Philippines. And he'll be talking about manufacturing excellence. So thank you for watching Expat Insights. Good night and mabuhay.